What ship can I bring?
Anything you want to bring, man, is fine as long as you accept the probability that when it dies, it's on you because we're not SRPing this.
A vagabond is always fun.
I brought my Secret Santa gift out that I asked my Santa for something that would be ridiculous that when it died everybody would point and laugh. So that's what I'm in right now.
Oh, jeez.
And
The
what
Rev.
system we're camping in?
So we're in EFM, guys. So just undock from CJ and take the jump bridge, and then just warp to me. We're right on the gate.
It's a Rev.
Keep caps out of here, maybe. Just some advice. Not your mother, but
We can bring
Well,
caps.
stop
Oh,
taking
all
him
right.
out. Lock him out.
that's fine.
God damn.
All right, so our first topic. So I put the list of everybody in the MOTD there. So I'm going to answer that one because it's good. Can you bring your Drake? Yes, you may absolutely bring your Drake. I have a heavy missile Armageddon, so fuck it, why not? And yes, really.
I was thinking of bringing a Marshall. He said no caps.
If you want to bring a Marshall, man, it's on you if it dies.
This might be the first one.
Okay, so we are doing just our kind of annual meet the directors, do all these kind of pieces. I got a whole bunch of directors lined up for this. Schedules in the MOTD. Our first one was going to be for me talking about Gooniversity, but I'm not the head of Gooniversity, so I thought I would take this opportunity to announce to you all the brand new head of Gooniversity, who is now going to speak to you all while I send the ping.
Get fucked, Aoife?
I didn't want this. I don't know what to say. Hello.
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 Congrats. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, probably. Yeah.
It's alright, I don't blame you guys. I blame a lot of other people. Not you guys.
No, he didn't say you, Nemus. He blames you. He told me so.
I specifically do blame names.
So for you guys who are not aware, we threw Eva under this bus almost a year ago. And then we just decided, coming up to this event, it's like, hey, we should elevate Aoife. And then because Asher won't let me mousetrap people anymore when they get promoted because he's so boring and wants to be nice to people. I don't know why. Reached out and told him, I was like, all right, we're going to do this. And I said, how about we do it on the Meet the Directors? And he said, I'd rather not. So obviously that's the way we did it.
Yep.
So I'm going to give you guys some of the deeper background on it, and then Aoife will talk about current operations there. So Gooniversity has been around with us for about 10 years now, give or take. And it started out as a continuation from the old Little Bees / Big Bees program. For those of you who are old as fuck and remember, that piece was a peer-to-peer mentoring kind of a thing. We started doing classes. That's when Gooniversity was really founded. For those of you who remember, the very first class that would move into it was run by Sirhan, and it was the WTF 101. We subsequently added about 10 more classes over the years once Gooniversity was created. Moved in, we're doing everything. We're doing class after class. We've got handouts. Vietnam happens, right? We do big reorganization after that. Previous director for Gooniversity stepped down. I threw Aoife and Callie underneath the temporary bus for that. And then they expanded the org even more into pretty crazy levels. I don't remember how many people are on the Gooniversity Discord now, but it's thousands. And so as we watched everything that Aoife was doing, we all decided, he's done really well with all of this stuff. So we're gonna give Aoife the nod, and so he is now Gooniversity's full director. Will be joining Ilum and doing all that fun stuff. And with that bloviating aside, he is now going to talk to you guys just kind of about the current rules and operations and things that Gooniversity does. We also have open Q&A. If you're in the fleet, you can ask questions there. If you are on comms, you can do that as well. Please don't interrupt whoever's speaking to ask a question, but we'll try to get to them. For those of you guys in Beehive who are listening in, I see there's a number of you all. I did this before the other day, and I think it worked really well. If you want to ask your question in Elysium on Jabber, I'll try and keep that up and monitor all of those. Aoife, you take it away there.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah, we're past 3,500 members on the Gooniversity Discord. I'm happy enough to release that, I guess. A lot of the, I guess, if anyone was around maybe about this time last year or even before, you'll probably recognise that the server looks a little different. We've went through quite a lot of changes, I'd say that much. And I do miss Callie, because Callie was my... he was the numbers guy, I suppose I would say, and so I've had to learn numbers. Yes, it is a little different, and it changes every day, such as last night when I broke permissions on Discord again, which is a pretty common thing, so someone should probably take that off of me.
It was kind of funny, honestly, guys. But
Oh man,
people were just like, "Hey, this entire sub channel doesn't work anymore." It was pretty funny.
I asked for permissions to see a channel, and then just nobody could see the channel.
Yeah, just adding one person to a channel. Hey, I broke it. Yeah, my bad, guys. I do apologise. If there's any questions, hey, I'm happy to answer them. I'd actually rather answer questions, because otherwise I will just talk total shit for however long I'm allowed to talk shit for.
You got 19 more minutes.
19 minutes to talk waffle.
Any big plans for next year for Gooniversity?
We do have a few. I know that's a softball from you. We do have a couple of things in the works. I don't know how much I should say about it right now, just in case, a few months in and then suddenly nothing's happened about it and we've had to drop the idea. But, yeah, we want to try and open up more newbie opportunities, I should say.
Isaac again?
I don't know if that was a softball.
Yeah, that's a future plans on that one.
Yeah, that sounded like a softball.
Since Karma Fleet University closed, you said that. I just closed the dots.
We're not associated with them directly, but I do know Bruden quite well. He's a good friend. We might try and see if we can get some collaboration stuff going, but they are future plans, so I wouldn't want to say this is for sure happening, just in case things fall away to the wayside, because that happens a lot of the time. Will there be a news post like for Firesides for those talks today? No, because that is far too much work.
So I am recording all of these guys, and they will be posted on the YouTube channel that's in the MOTD. So, but are we going to make Eva transcribe 7 hours worth of nerds talking? No. I mean, I'm a terrible person, but I'm not that bad.
Yeah, he is known for being evil, but even the most evil people have a limit where they go, right, that's a bit much. Any funny or embarrassing stories about Ranger? I've got plenty of funny and embarrassing stories about myself, specifically, Neve. Probably not about Ranger, because I do tend to... I'm more of a solo player a lot of the time, which is a sad thing to say, I suppose. But I usually keep to myself, so whenever someone else does something embarrassing or silly, I usually don't notice it. But I notice it when I do it. I've done plenty of that.
The director usually makes fun of Ranger for having 9 toes.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Goodness me, I'm
classic.
being pointed. Well, what was the one? Shortly after Callie and I took over, and I think we had just moved to UALX at that point, and Callie and I were told, right, you guys are in charge, you're looking after all this stuff. And we went, oh my god, there's so much junk all over the place in the Alt Corp hangars. And I made a contract to an ally, and I messed up the contract. So some random high-sec guy got something like 35 billion worth of junk for something like 16 or 17 billion. Yeah, Beyond was mainly the culprit for behind why we had so much junk all over the place. Like, I mess up things all the time. I'm happy enough to admit that. Yeah, Beyond likes to drop contracts of several hundred T1 ships hulls just for kicks. That's how he gets his kicks off.
It's thousands.
Was it thousands? Oh yeah, it was like 1,500 scythes, wasn't it? Oh no, he doesn't ask, he just drops it on you. He just goes, here, take this.
In Beyond's defense, I will say that he made all of these because we expected to be able to use them, and then the enemy at the time just totally bitched out, and yeah.
Oh, joy, here comes all of the pigeon invites.
Let's see if it survives.
So I would tell you, I do have a good story for that question on like embarrassing or anything like that. It wasn't embarrassing because I thought it was funny as shit when I lagged all of Eve by kicking an alt court. That entertained me so much.
That you did it again.
I did it like 7 times.
That was indeed a lot of fun.
I got a serious kick out of that. I actually had CCP reach out to me on that one. They're like, "Hey, what the hell?" Actually, they were quite interested in it. They were just like, "This is super interesting. When you kick them next time, tell us so we can monitor the servers."
Oh great, I need to make pigeon bigger on my other screen. This is outrageous.
I do also enjoy every time Ranger comes up and is like, "Hey, I don't know where this freighter is." Ranger regularly loses freighters.
Okay, that is not true. I've never
That
lost
is-
a
Yes,
freighter.
it is.
I've never lost one. I misplaced
Reindeer?
a Blops 10 years ago. Never lost a freighter.
Reindeer, I thought you said we couldn't lie to the line today.
I never said that, but I'm also not lying on that. Never lost.
He
a
said while
freighter.
lying.
Can we check Ezekiel?
You can. You will not see a single freighter loss.
No, they just kind
With
of get
that-
misplaced, and then he's like, "Oh, they're in this random station in the middle of fucking nowhere."
Yeah, you didn't lose the freighter to like hostiles. You lost the freighter to your hangar.
Okay, that was asset safety. That doesn't count.
And I will say, he clarified check Z-kill, not, he didn't say he didn't lose it. He just said it's not on Z-kill.
Hate you all right now. Groot, especially you. I see you there. How you doing, man?
Doing good.
I say, why are you guys picking on me? You should be picking on Aoife. That's the way this works. God damn.
Yeah, you guys are free to pick on me whilst I try and unmess up Jabber. Oh my word.
I mean, Aoife gets to suffer the billion saved messages for him as soon as he joins along.
That did ping, but I've lost where it went now, so I'll get to it when I find it. I think I just get invited to like 30 channels, and yeah, okay, yeah, it's going off again.
Excellent. I now have another pocket director.
Yeah. For reference to the line, the Ilum usually, when we promote somebody, will store a bunch of messages in Jabber for that person. So as soon as they connect in Ilum, it just spams them with all of them.
And it's usually enough for like people's jabber just be like, nope, and quit on you. So you have to start all over again.
Oh no, it's fine for now. I don't. That's the wrong channel. I can't read.
Well, what does the head of Gooniversity need to be able to read? Pfft, yeah, we're goons.
Yeah.
He has people
I
for
will
that.
tell you to read. I will not read myself.
Taps
Yeah.
the sign aggressively.
Yeah, I love that teacher right there. That's the most goon thing I've heard in a while. Yep. Leading, yeah, Fabian leading by example. I'm with that. Okay, well, Eve was trying to debug his jabber there. What other kind of questions do you guys have?
I think it's saved itself now. It's now not exploding. But the room did just get very warm. Is a bread bowl a sandwich? No. Why did you all take away my rating anomalies? I asked Ranger if we could just get rid of them because I was fed up of trying to find havens to rat in. And he said, that's a great idea. And I sent him like this great big 3,000 word Google Doc thing saying this system should be this and this system should be this. And they went, that's a great idea. We'll just blame you if anyone ever complains. So if you've got complaints about it, you're free to free to DM me about it. I will eventually read them once I've gotten through the 7th bottle of cider tonight. The metrics for success for the org must be fairly complex to track. Do you track by participation or actual learning? The way we tend to track it, we track both the handouts and the classes. So the classes specifically, we track... Oh. We want to kill that Loki, guys?
Tackle him.
Yep, grab that Loki. Oh, he closed.
Any frigates want to burn to where he was? Get him, get him, get him.
In headline news, goons cannot tackle.
More news at 11.
I didn't realise I was so interesting to listen to that everyone forgot that they were playing a game. Specifically for participation
we would have missed
tracking.
anyway.
Yeah, probably. We'll track the number of handouts specifically so we can see how much we're spending, but also to see if the handouts are actually like worth doing. You know, like if everyone claimed the PvE pack, for example, like over 3 months, and then suddenly we had a sharp drop off, we would then take a look at it again to see, hey, why aren't people claiming this pack? Is it because the pack is shit? Or is it because the pack doesn't offer enough beyond the first month of having it? Like, do people claim it and then they just don't need it? You know, there's a lot of like factors we'll take a look at. For classes though, we'll go for numbers of classes run first. Once we get classes run to, I'd say maybe a more stable level, then we would maybe start tracking how many participants join those classes. But for now, the only metric we really care about is the number of classes being run. When will we be finally flying carriers and fleets that darken the sky? That sounds like a question saved for one of the other directors coming up in a few hours.
This is Gooniversity, not the military.
We do have Sniper and whoever he has browbeat will be here for the military, but the goal for the carriers was after the first of the year.
Aoife, there was a question from Elysium that was asking, what are your short-term and long-term goals for Gooniversity without going OPSEC? Like a quick TLDR?
I wouldn't say there's much in the... Oh, it's K-Man as well. I wouldn't say there's much in the way of that is OPSEC for Gooniversity. When it comes to Gooniversity stuff, it's more... The reason I won't say something is coming up is to avoid spoiling either surprises or saying, hey, we're going to be doing this, and then if it doesn't happen later on, it saves us from having to hear, hey, hey, whatever happened to that idea you guys were going to be doing? The long-term goals, I think it would just be to get the SIG into the strongest, I would say it's been. Offer more things for people to be doing, because a lot of newbies will join, right? Maybe they've been playing for a week, maybe they've been playing for a few years, and then they'll join a null alliance, or a null coalition in this sense, and they'll just be so overwhelmed with a lot of stuff. They won't know specifically what to be doing. They log in, they'll sit there, they'll spin a ship, and then log off and go, did I have fun today? I don't know. The main goal is to get them out into space, go do stuff. Here's where you can go do this stuff. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of players' early years, which is to be expected, but it is kind of a shame that is the way. So the main goal for next year is to put more bees in space, and it depends on a few things coming up. Whether or not that will be, are we going to be doing like more mining fleets? Are we going to be doing more mini versions of this, little gate camps? Are we going to go do, I don't know, fleet PvP or fleet PvE? There's a lot of possibilities that we could be doing, but I don't want to drop too many hints about what we would be doing. One of those we are looking at doing, hint. But short-term goals would be to get some of those off the ground to then see, is this something that's viable for the long term? Long term, probably seeing if we can keep that going for an extended period of time. Because one of the biggest things we don't want to do is burn out a lot of the volunteers that do hop on every day and help out people, either in the Discord, handing out handout ships, or they'll pop into the faculty channels and say, hey, is this okay? Can I run this class on this date? The answer is usually yes, by the way. Ranger, you don't have a skin on your ship.
Yeah, somebody just mentioned that. I run my graphics so low, I can't tell if there's actually on them or not, but yeah.
Can't hurt the best out of gameplay though, mate.
Yeah. I see one in Elysium. Did Gooniversity manage the nursery constellation, the one full of low-level anoms? No, we don't actually deal with stuff like that. Which constellation is that?
I have no idea. I don't even know which one that one is.
Dictator, you would need to be a bit more specific about it. Yeah, you need to find it again? Yeah, no worries. How does one get involved in Gooniversity? It's the easiest way to do it is there's a little recruitment post in the forums. I had to make a new one just to keep it up to date and fresh. I don't think I'll do a new one this year. I might do one for 2027 just so it's kind of fresh and it looks new and all that good stuff. Basically, it comes down to, have you been in the Alliance for 6 months or more? What do you want to do? Tell us a bit about yourself, and as long as you're somewhat active in either, well, specifically in the Discord, we want to see you active in first before you hop on board, then you can drop me a message. We'll find you something to do. Specifically, it has to be something you want to do. Big hint, by the way, we want more instructors. We want to be getting like 2 or 3 classes a week at like our high. So just drop me a message on the forums. There's a little recruitment thing. I'll pull it up in a second and post it in. But yeah, it's just message me. Let me know what you want to do and why you're good. You do need a vouch, but that vouch could just be, have I heard of this person before, or are they space important? Then that's your vouch. You're good to go. And that could just be a corp director, a corp CEO, or even the llama, since he's a very well-known person that knows too many people. I know like 3 people.
Whoa, buddy.
2 of them.
Wow, just threw llama under that bus. Damn. I approve.
I don't get the number of that bus as it flew past.
I would say, I mean, that's some cold-blooded stuff there. You've been a director for 20 minutes and you just threw llama right under a bus. Nice.
Llama directorate wins.
I learned from the best.
So proud of you.
All right, I'll take that one. Yeah. Okay, we'll do like one more minute or so with Eva. He'll stick around for a little while, and then we're gonna bring in Carneros from MiniTru is gonna be here shortly.
I think Llama's one is a really good one. What would you ask corp leaders about Gooniversity?
What would I ask of corp leaders about Gooniversity? Send their players to. I would ask that, yeah. More importantly, what I would like to ask corp leaders if they had something that they needed help with specifically for onboarding or bringing up new players, ask us. Like, please just ask us. We are always available to help for that kind of thing. Yeah, I've linked the faculty one, and Ladina's linked it as well. If you're struggling to find, oh hey, in our onboarding, I want a hyperlink for this web page, but I can't seem to find this one. Where can I find that? Just ask us. I really do not mind if you ping me on Jab or Discord. If you ping the faculty saying, "Hey, who do I talk to about this? Why?" Just ping us. We enjoy getting pinged.
Does that go for blues too, do?
Yeah, mate. Oh, a heron. A cloaky heron.
He did.
Local.
Oh, he died. Is there a fireside today? There is not.
This is basically the fireside, guys. We canceled space meetings for today, so that's why we decided to do this today.
Xenobus saying, having joined Goons only 2 weeks ago, Gooniversity Discord has been a fantastic place to go ask questions as a newbie. I've since pointed out quite a few others in that direction. It could be worth having corp recruiters actively point people to the Gooniversity posts and details. A lot of them do, I know that much. But onboarding is a pretty time-intensive thing. So the idea is that if the corp directors and corp recruiters want help getting that on, then ask us. We like helping. That's the point of Gooniversity, is that we help you. It doesn't matter if you're new or old, high end in the Alliance or corp or low end newbie. The idea is that we're there to help, and that is really all I would like to see Gooniversity be, is the place where I'm struggling to get this thing going. Who do I talk to? You talk to us first, and we can point you towards the person that can help you or the forum post that you've lost. That's the general gist of it.
That's like the best sum up for Gooniversity, and you did it just. I mean, you're technically late, but we'll call it close enough to being on time there. All right, guys.
Yeah, I saw it tick over from 30 to 31. I do apologize, but
Yeah,
thanks for
it's
having me,
okay.
guys.
we're gonna switch over. So we're gonna try and do this, as efficiently as we can. Carneros is here to talk to us about MiniTru, also known as the Ministry of Truth. This is our propaganda arm that's been around for many, many years. And with that, I will let Carneros take over and do it again. Q&A, guys. Let him answer questions for whatever you guys have. So, Carneros, take it away.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear my voice. Let me know in Elysium or in Fleet Chat if you're having trouble hearing me. I'm from the Ministry of Truth. There are other ministries, love, for example, but we're Truth and our. We actually have 2 leaders. Not all of the SIGs have just one leader. We have 2. So it's Brisk, Rubal, and Carneros, myself, who team up and run this SIG together. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, actually. Let's talk a little bit about what the Ministry of Truth is. The harsh term of propaganda was just used. There are other terms that maybe are more palatable in public, such as marketing or messaging. We're a flexible group, and we have multiple valuable services we can offer to the group. I'll tell you a little bit about them. But we also do propaganda. Shh, don't say that. We're sort of a fancy graphic design department sometimes for the Imperium leadership. Sometimes we're a social group for artists and creatives. We share our works in progress with each other and critique them and encourage each other and suggest improvements and things like that. It can be a lot of fun to share your work in progress with someone else who can appreciate what went into it. We share tips and software recommendations and techniques and files with each other. We team up on projects. Sometimes we'll team a writer, an editor, a graphic designer, and a project manager together on something, for example. We make videos, infographic charts, inspiring illustrations, logos, and occasionally lowbrow memes. It's hard to stop a group of creative Imperium members from making lowbrow memes, if we're honest. It's not worth the effort to try to stop them. We do a few interesting things that don't fit into any category, such as we maintain a list of Imperium corporations and alliances who are recruiting. Now, that kind of fits in for a second with what Aoife was saying. By the way, I believe he pronounces his name Aoife. He didn't say that very clearly for you at the beginning, but that's my understanding.
Yes, that is how you say it. It's Aoife.
All right, I had to tease you about that. But yeah, I'm going to link a couple things for a second in Fleet Chat and Imperium. Elise. This is the first page of the Goon Wiki, you might say. And if you scroll down a little bit, down past the official contacts and how to navigate the wiki, you'll get to a section called Corporation Center. If you need to contact Goon Swarm in regards to joining a corporation, here are some corporations that are recruiting, for example. You can drop down and talk to one of those folks. Each one should have a little short description on what they do and how they prefer to be contacted. If you are a corporation CEO or director or recruiter, and you would like to have your corp in there, or if you're one who is looking at it and you go, oh, my corp is listed, that's really old, we have to fix that. Please go to Goonfleet and send me a private message on the forums, Carneros, send it to me, and I will get it updated for you. It's not even hard. No, nothing to it. Little things like that we do. I'll link a couple other things to you for a moment.
Does that include blues too, dude?
Note.
It could do.
Shut the fuck. Sorry.
That part was confusing, but we'll just smoothly continue past. I put another link in there for one of the doctrines on our official doctrine list. This one is called, charmingly, Stupid Idiot Fleet 2.0. No, I didn't name it. We did that chart that says "Know Your Redeemer." Yes, we wrote that part. It's a little infographic to help you get to learn your new ship. We assume some of the folks in that doctrine trained into that ship specifically for this fleet doctrine. They've have never flown a Redeemer before, so we told them, here are a few things to know. Start moving your ship immediately to create some transversal, for example. And you're going to be fighting some larger ships who, for whom it matters a lot if your ship is moving or not. So, especially if you're fighting a dreadnought, don't sit still. It's the worst thing you could do. You might as well paint a red target on yourself. No. Then we gave you some range ideas for your different ammo type. This is just a little infographic we designed. Not every doctrine does the FC contact us and say, hey, we could use an infographic if you have time. Who can make one for us? And we always say yes on these because these are great projects that we feel help people. And we'll team it up, and someone will go do the research and pull it all together, and someone else will do the graphic design layout, and someone else will take a look at it and make sure there are no mistakes, and then off we go. It's great fun. before I go into more about what we do or why, I want to tell you a little bit about the kinds of people who join us. We get writers, we get editors, graphic artists, 3D modelers, sometimes animators, video editors, audio creators. Some folks work, purely with generative AI. A lot of people do not. We get project managers who help us pull things together. If any of that feels like you, or if you do these things in your IRL life, I'm a marketing director for a game company. That's what I do IRL. So they sometimes ask me to, they ask me to think about this from the point of view of marketing the organization or counter messaging stuff that our opponents might be doing, for example. These are the area of public relations is a good set of skills to have for doing this kind of work. Yes, MS Paint is sometimes absolutely the right tool and the right look to get visually, especially if you're teaching people how to run a ship. Yeah, that was a question I got. Yeah, not everyone can do anything art related. I get that. Trust me. Yeah, just a little bit more about my background. I've been in games development for 32 years, most of it in marketing. I worked on MMOs very, very early. Meridian 59 was a game I worked on. I was heavily into playing these MMOs at the same time I worked on them. I was playing World of Warcraft when a friend of a friend needed a place to stay and moved into my spare bedroom. And he played EVE Online. And I looked at it and I thought, what the hell is going on that screen? It did not make a lot of sense to me, but I wanted to learn it. So I asked him, hey, will your group take me in? No, I live in nullsec. You have to have 50 million skill points and fly a Drake to join us. You can't join me. But I think it'd be really cool if you played. Okay. So I go to my WoW guild and I said, hey, are any of you playing EVE on the side? Yeah, we have a little group playing EVE. Okay, you can join us. Okay, great. So I joined the group. They fit my first ship for me. They said, follow us. We're going to go do some level something missions. Okay. I think it was level 3 or something. I followed behind them and just looted and salvaged while they did all the work. And they let me keep everything they picked up. And I'm like, huh, interesting. Okay. And then they all got recruited away when a new nullsec group formed called Nulli Secundus. And they all left me. And I said, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't play this. I applied to EVE University. EVE University said, no, you've been in the game too long. I'd been in for like 3 months and I didn't know how to fit a ship or anything. No, too long. And that was a long waiting list even to get to that. And about that point, CCP had a job open, and I flew out and interviewed with them, and I criticized their distribution philosophy. And they said, do you think you could do better? I go, yeah. All right, here you go. And they made me senior director of sales for CCP. And I go, okay. And they said, give us your main character. You can't play him anymore. Really? Yeah, no, we don't want people to get attached to their character. So I gave up Carneros, and they said, you can create up to 4 new accounts if you want, and we'll pay for them, and and you can play them for free while you work for CCP. I go, okay. So I made 4 accounts and started training again. And this time I went back to EVE University with one of my new ones, and I applied with him. And they said, okay, sure. So I joined them. And I stayed in E-Uni until I left CCP. And then one of my friends said, you can go to nullsec now. Come with us. I'm just joined a corp. It has a great vision. it's going to turn into a nullsec alliance. It's going to have space. I go, okay, I'll go along with you, whatever you say. Why is this corporation named after a dildo? Okay, never mind. I'll just follow you. All right. So we joined, and I ended up in the Imperium, and it was all history after that. But anyway, joining a group like this and learning your way, huge, wonderful. I didn't quite do it right at first. I recognize that now. My corp doesn't really recruit brand new people because that's not what we're good at. Gooniversity, fantastic organization. I think I digressed a bit there. More cool things about the Ministry of Truth for a moment. Sometimes when Asher is going to declare war or give a really big speech, he will sometimes ask us for a suitable illustration for his accompanying post. Those are exciting moments. A little bit secretive there. Huge amount of fun. We usually only get like 48 hours of notice, and someone will build. If a new SIG pops up, they'll come to us sometimes and say, "Will you make us a Fat B logo?" And we have folks who will take the original Fat B template and make a cool logo variation for them. Maybe instead of smoking a cigar, he's playing a flute or something. Depends what your group does. They'll put something together. We do a bunch of things. If let's say the IT department needs to do a fundraiser, sometimes they'll say, "Give us a new line of merchandise for our merch store," and we'll design T-shirts and knit beanie caps for cool people, and then we put them all in the store and raise money for the IT, pay for the servers. There's a lot of fun stuff that goes on, and internally, sometimes we will get to an important thing like a war is declared, and we'll sit down and say, "Folks, here's why we're going to war this time. Here are our main messages. Renting is wrong. It's bad for the EVE economy. It is bad for the player experience of these new players coming in. It's bad for this, and this reasons. It unbalances the design of the creators of the game." And we'll sit down and explain all that stuff. And we'll sometimes craft messaging that we can use or give to leadership to use in various ways. Sometimes we'll create videos, records of great fights and moments in EVE. One of Asher's ambitions in this game is to provide members of the Imperium with cool lifetime memories of things that happened in EVE. Everyone who participated in the Battle of M2 TAC can remember where they were when it started and what happened to them during the battle. Yeah, the battle went all frickin' day all the way till downtime and was exhausting and slow, but it was amazing. And the chemicals that went through your blood that day are different from the chemicals that went through your blood any other day of your life. It was a moment, and you remember it. And this is the only game I've ever played that can give you moments like that. And he wants to make sure you get those. And a good video from the Ministry of Truth can help you experience and feel that and remember it and get the benefits of that memory better. Okay, I'm gonna stop and look at questions again because I talked too. Stick figures, very good.
One that came up, Carneros, earlier is: do you guys as a org post directly onto Reddit with that, or is it just like get copied over by people? Is there like a direct Reddit link there?
No, there is no such thing as Reddit swarm or any of that. I post to Reddit but only for another game. That's my day job. If we're honest, no, but we'll make assets. Once I posted a video on the politics of nullsec and who the big players were. It was out of date within 30 days. And I pulled what was left of my hair out and I thought, no, this does not make sense. We're not going to pound our head on this particular thing. But we will make a we'll make a video and someone will post it somewhere. You know, that part is magical. And sometimes disappointing when only 8 people watch it. If this inspires you and you're a person who says, oh, you need distribution help, I know how to do that. Well, then you should apply to join the Ministry of Truth, and you should type the word distribution into your application. I'm going to put a link in there for someone who wants to do that. Yeah, 370, that doesn't sound exciting, but that is a short secret code for the Ministry of Truth. Yep. And there's no minimum thing you've got to do or anything like that. It's not that kind of a place. Do you feel that the role of MiniTru has changed since Asher became leader? Well, I wasn't involved with the Ministry of Truth under the previous administration or the one before that. I was always an ally of Goonswarm up until the point where I was an ally up until the part where Asher took over. So at one point, I ran another alliance called the Bastion. When I took my current job, I knew I couldn't run both. So we took apart the Bastion and placed corporations, mostly with Goonswarm, but some with TNT and Lawn and Dracaris and other groups, Sigma. And we and the last group of mostly leadership were left in the executive corp called the Night Watchman, and then we just rolled that over into Goonswarm. So that's why originally the Night Watchmen were supposed to be the guards on the wall of the Bastion, the alliance on the furthest fringe of the Imperium's space. So we were in thank you, Applepear. We were in Vale of the Silent while the Imperium was based in Declan. So we were way the heck out on the edge of things, and we were sort of the guards on the edge of civilization. That was the analogy for the group. Now the Night Watchman is almost a humorous name when we go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. Just kidding. We're having fun. One cool thing about the Night Watchman is we have some of the best ratios of capitals and super capitals per person in Goonswarm Federation. We're good when it comes to, okay, everyone get out your super caps. We're getting hardcore now. Love those wars.
I see a question on an Elysium from Samuel. It said, who had Gemini at that time? Can you be more specific, man? Which time frame are you talking about?
At the time that we lived in Vale of the Silent, at one point, we owned all of Vale of the Silent. It was great. I felt like I was the Prince of Vale of the Silent. It was really cool. And then we invited, then the definitions of space and how much you could hold changed due to a change in sovereignty for the game. And we invited Get Off My Lawn to come and share the space with us. And then a little bit later, Circle of Two got too big and asked if they could have a constellation in Vale also. And since the neighbors were starting to heat up a little bit, we said yes and gave them a little space, and then that was good. And for a while, XIX was camping on our sofa in Vale of the Silent 2. And then they said, okay, we're going to move out. We're going to move into Geminate and let you guys have Vale to yourselves. We're going to reset each other to be neutral. We're not going to shoot each other's structures, but we're very welcome to drop on each other's, radders or fight each other's fleets and that kind of thing. That we'll be that kind of neighbors. And that was pretty cool. So, when the casino war started, the guy who was running XIX was named UAX Death, and he would occasionally private message me and warn me there's stuff happening. Folks are coming to Geminate. I'm not going to be able to stop them. You need to be ready. Things like that. It was cool.
So we've got about 5 more minutes for Carneros and Ministry of Truth, and then we're gonna switch over to our next speaker here. So any other questions for Carneros for MiniTru?
Yeah, the casino war was really interesting because it was the first time in my experience of war with the Imperium that we actually lost a war. Up until then, we always won. So it was the experience of losing was quite an education. And the Mittani said, look, don't worry about what's going to happen. If we lose everything, just fold in with us, go where we go, and everything will be fine. We'll set up again. We've lost before. We know how to handle it. Like, okay. So I moved to Losec with them when everything was collapsing, and heck, we had a big migration to the south, took Delve, started all over again, and sure enough, we were just fine. But it was amazing. The ones who stuck with us did fine. The ones who gave up, freaked out, and left, some of them did not. I'm thinking of Fidelis Constans, FCon. I'm thinking of Circle of Two. I'm thinking of there were a number of folks who left us at about that time. Executive Outcomes.
Ascension did too.
Yeah.
Oh, I was in the
FA was dead before the casino war.
Did they?
Yeah, I was in FA.
I know you and I both were. I didn't remember that piece. I will do like one more minute for Carneros, and we'll switch over. The kind of piece for MiniTru again for him, if you're interested in getting involved in. He said, not propaganda. I always call it the propaganda arm. They do other stuff, but if you're interested in doing any of these kinds of graphical design things, as Carneros said, just reach out to him.
Videos, songs, cool, even memes, all that stuff. What was the best art you see in the Ministry of Truth? I have to say that would be the videos. I love some of them. I'm gonna link one while we're getting set up from our next speaker. Hang on. Well, we have channels in our Discord which are talking about things like infographics or videos or images and branding or live streams or shit posts, excuse my language, audio, and people kibitz with each other on these topics. And that's where I go to look for a video. I go to the video. Here's a cool one. It's the newest one.
I screwed that up for you, Carneros. I'll relink it for you. Oh, you got it. Perfect.
This is the newest one. It's actually from not a goon member of the Ministry of Truth, but a brave member of the Ministry of Truth. And it's his how to hunt down the Yule lads for the current event going on. Here is a, you never know. Here's one about the recent hell camp we just did in the drone regions to amazing effect.
Well, just keep
There's a
everything
very,
moving.
very talented member called Brett Powerful who does this stuff. Did that video. Really, really talented. And you'll see him in your fleets with you. I look around all the time and see him running in the fleet just like a regular line member. But, you know, alongside his ability to hit F1, he has other amazing skills that sometimes sneak out.
Well, we're going to switch over to Apple with Black Hand. But, Carneros, if you want to link any more videos, please feel free to do that.
Thank you.
So the Black Hand, I'll let Apple do his intro for all that. He's around. I'm going to update the MOTD as we're going, guys. They're like every hour I'll update it to make it a little bit shorter for what we're doing. But Apple's here. He's going to talk to us about what the Black Hand does.
Okay, hello everybody. The Black Hand, what do? We spy. So that's what we do. How does it work? Black Hand has 3 directors, about 10, 12 handlers, and then some spies. We call them agents. And why do we have these structures? Is to make sure nobody gets in direct contact with an agent unless you're a handler or a Black Hand director. So when people are relaying stuff in fleets or to other people, it's always a handler doing and not the agent. So the chance of the agent being burned is the least possible. And that's basically the TLDR of the Black Hand. And just ask questions, and then if I feel like it and can, I will answer it. And then I will just link everybody to join the Black Hand and put that link here. You can speak in comms for questions also. If you don't have questions, then it will be very short. What was the best operation Black Hand did? We have done many operations, from messing with our enemies to I think the most known is the killing of Wop. That's way before my time, and that was called the Black Hand at that time. But I think the funniest things are when we have recordings of live streams of meetings of our enemies before the enemies have them posted to their members. I think that's the funniest thing. So yeah.
I think one of the best ones, Apple, maybe you can help me on that. The live streaming one. There was one, I think it was with Horde like a year or so ago. They made some announcement and somebody came in, they're like, goons are streaming these comms. We're going to turn this off now. Do you remember that one, who that was?
I think after the Vietnam War that we won that, there was like Sour Nami. Was guys, they're streaming this.
Yeah, that
and, that was it, Sour Nami. But yeah, those kind of things are just fun to do, and also, so yeah, there's and it's just fun to see that they're like, our enemies are asking for like, hey, when there's the recording up, and then we already shared our recording of their stuff before they shared it. Those things are funny to me.
There's a couple of questions on Elysium. I've got one for you here, Apple. How do you choose somebody for spy work? Like, what's involved of being a spy? Like, what is spy stuff? Like, what do you do as a spy? As much as you can tell us.
Now, how do we choose somebody for being a spy? Is somebody applies and they're not a complete idiot. Even if they're one day newbie, they pretty much get accepted. Like we pretty much accept everybody. Because it's a one-way street. So like we're not going to tell you anything. You're just going to tell us things. So, and our guide from how to be a spy has been public for years. So like it's not like our enemies don't know what's in the guide that we give you. So yeah, that's basically it. Seen how do you choose spy work? Did the pandemic was known before the announcement of Goons? I think the statement of Asher was I think pretty clear on that. That their allies didn't even know. And what we as Black Hand know, of course, I cannot talk about, but I can tell you that their allies clearly didn't know. Black Hand related to Black Pawns, no. We don't do pawns. Insurgent Squad, part of Black Hand, yes. Insurgent Squad is how I became a Black Hand handler. I was running Insurgent Squad, and then they asked me to do handler stuff, etc. Squad is its squad itself is a bit turned down, but we do that in another way now, and especially now Horde is dead, and it's a lot harder to do Insurgent Squad things. So yeah, Sheen, yeah, Insurgent Squad is a lot of things. It's called operations indeed now. Is it open to everyone to become a spy? Yeah, everybody can apply. I linked it, just apply, and then somebody will contact you. And then we get you set up. Like even if you're one day in Goons, you can become a spy. And we call you agents, but and we have handlers, etc. And you're spying, but that's just terms we use.
So how did you get to the role of director there, Apple? You mentioned that kind of like how did somebody just look at you one day and just go you? Like how did you get into this role?
Yeah, that has a bit of a history before that. Like during the casino war, I was seeing, and then they decided to do the cohort team. That was pretty new then, and also a bit different than it is now. And then they decided to make me a cohort director. And then after the casino war and we won Delve, then they were not completely happy with me, so they fired me as cohort director. So I was not a director anymore. And then I just did some mining and got myself 4 Titans, and then started doing some things. And then the original person who set up Insurgent Squad left, and then I just started doing some things there. And then at one point they asked me to become a Black Hand handler. So there's the role that has agents, and I started doing that. And then during the Vietnam War, at one point I was sitting in comms, and Mittens was there and was like, "Oh yeah, we're going to make you a Black Hand director." Oh, okay. And my answer was, as long as I still can keep FCing, and that was okay. And then I became a Black Hand director, and then yeah, that's how it grew.
Question for you in Fleet. So speaking of spy stuff, what is the best thing to do when you suspect a spy or blue eyes? I mean, Sarah said put in a CI report, which I would agree with that. But what's your thought?
Yeah, just we are an organization that does it a bit different than a lot of organizations. For most organizations in their CI is part of how do you call it, of the spy organization. With us it's not. Like we have split roles, so there's CI and there is Black Hand. So just fill in a CI report, a LinkedIn link, and they will look at it. Takes some time sometimes, depending on what's going on, but just fill in CI reports.
For those of you who don't know, this is a Jira ticket on the forums. If you go to Jira, is one of the main links at the top. There's a thing for CI there.
It's not Jira, Redmine.
Sorry, Jira's the old one. Yeah, Red. Sorry.
I linked it. I linked it in the Elysium. how do you know if you will be any use as a spy? That's the hardest part of being a spy for a lot of people, of being an agent. You can only talk about it with your handler and the people who are in the group with you, who are taking care of you as an agent. And a lot of time we tell you what your use has been. So sometimes if somebody did certain things and or relate us information, then we tell them, hey, based on this information, we made this and this decision. So we try to tell you, but being a spy, one of the an agent is, you must be okay with not getting public praise. So everybody's very happy with you, and your handlers will make sure you know that, but publicly you won't get any praise at all. That's just part of the job.
And there's a big reason, guys, why when we talk about the Black Hand, the only person we ever acknowledge is Apple. It's to protect our agents. That's the whole reason we do that.
We can mention our handlers and also Cryptic and Hyperfiber, our other Black Hand directors. That's there. Cryptic is more focused on the internal stuff and contact with agents and making sure that all runs smooth. And Hyperfiber is special, so he's for special cases. And the combination of him being also a Diplo is very useful sometimes. Everybody has the skill to become an agent. It's very easy. Just apply. I linked it earlier in the things. Can somebody relink it, because then I have to click somewhere else. So just apply, and someone will contact you, and we'll get you sorted. There's a form in the. Oh no, that's the wrong one. There's a form you can fill in, Google form, where you fill in your name, your time zone, and your Discord name. And then somebody will add you as a friend and contact you. Like, we take one-day new Goon members. Like, if people are, and also if you're just new to the game, we take you. It's perfect for new players to become agents, because you start playing as a new player a lot of time. So then being a new player makes it easier, because you don't have to fake it.
So I will admit that was one of the hardest things for me when I tried to do something like that, is to be in a chat and have someone ask a question, have someone else tell them the wrong answer, and not be like, no, that is not how you do that, because a new person wouldn't know that. That's why I was not cut out for a spy.
Did any hostile spy have became a Goonsome member and discovered? I don't know. Just don't think about it. Just apply. We get somebody to talk to you, and then you can decide. Just apply. You can always, after you talked with and handle it, decide it's not for you. It's not for you. No hard feelings. Not everybody it works out. I think of all the agents that apply, after a year, not even probably around 50% are still there. It's just not for everybody, and if you don't try, you don't know. So like that's just something we accept. So don't worry about it.
Are you talking about Black Hand, Apple?
No, I'm not talking about a Black Hand. But what kind of role do spying play in the current meta? How does it defend? No, I think the most public that everybody knows is relays, so that you get the pings from the enemy. That's like, you know, that the enemy is forming. That's like the biggest part. And a lot of thing is how does it? It's just knowledge is the most important, and other things we just don't talk about.
Can I share some stuff that's public?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Beyond has something to talk about finance later with it, so then he has something to talk. I think one of the most fun things we did, that was more Insurgent Squad. Let me find it in between. Let me find that. One of the most funny things we did. And if you see any questions, Ranger, I need to find something, so just speak up and tell me what questions there are.
Yeah, no worries. One that just came in is, do you have to be Omega to be a spy?
Not at first, but at one point it's hard for you to be in an organization and be just Alpha.
The second part was a clean character with some months of training. From my experience of doing it, it depends on the group that you're trying to get into. Some of them check things like that, and some of them don't. So it varies. Like back in that day, Horde did not. You could get in day one, brand new character, but only specific corps in Horde would let you do that. So others had full ESIs and things like that. Just depends on the group.
Local Apple. Someone's asking about the RTAC 8 Keepstar. Can I speak about that since it's basically declassified?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so the RTAC 8 Keepstar was a fun one. After the Horde announcement, there was a lot of chatter on the back end, and one of my agents, who's now in the Goon Swarm, wouldn't even call him an agent, he's a friend. He'd been looking at joining Goons before Horde's collapse, and we've had some conversations, and well, when Horde announced that they were going to be evacuating drones, I messaged him. I don't think I've ever slid into anyone's DMs that fast, so that was a new one for me.
Did you at least use some lube on that first there, Troy?
No, I went in dry. I went in hard, fast, and dry, and I was like, "Hey, man, so guarantee you a home, bring you over to where you want to be, bring your corp, bring your friends." It's Brosidon, for those of you who aren't aware. He's got like 5 or 6 bodies in that corp, and they're all multi-boxers. So I slid in. I was like, "Guarantee your home, guarantee your exfiltration from RTAC A. I need a character in your corp, and we're going to anchor our Keepstar on grid with the RTAC A staging Keepstar." And basically, I put him in a chat with Hyper, and I was like, "Hey, this is the situation. We can do this." And Hyper was like, "Yeah, we're doing it." So we put a character in corp, and it was very simple. It wasn't simple. It was actually hilarious. The character we put into that corp was still in Horde. So when he warped to the POS that all of our supers and titans were sitting in a freighter with a Keepstar in it, no one knew who that was. I knew, but I didn't think about it. And it was like, what the fuck? Why is there a hostile freighter in our POS? Not realizing that was the Keepstar we were about to drop. So we almost killed the Keepstar that we were about to drop. And then we bridged it in and dropped it, and they kicked the corp with like a minute left on the anchor timer. And we didn't know how this was going to play, so we didn't know if it was going to be the 1-day timer since it was an allied Sov, or if it was going to be the 6-day timer since it was a hostile Keepstar. Obviously it was the 6-day timer because they kicked it and it went off of at the point of anchoring. But yeah, it was pretty simple. It was, "Hey, I know you want to come over here. We'll guarantee your home. We'll guarantee you, basically you come live with us, and you just let us anchor Keepstar."
So, to people, if you have like specific questions, hey, can I do that as an agent? Can I do that? What is required, etc. Just apply, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We're not like going to be upset with you or something like that. Just apply, and everybody will be happy. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. No hard feelings. Or agent assigned to a group, or does an agent choose where to go? A combination of both. Etc. Now, okay. Now here I have, if somebody wants to link it in Fleet, I'll link it in Elysium. I'm not in the Fleet. And does anyone notice something about this skill mill? And no, you cannot talk about it, Altari.
Damn it.
And see if we have other questions. As you can found in MTL alliances.
Back to the Keepstar that we anchored real quick. We brought him in on a hostile Horde Asbel. And our Sino started getting shot until we DM'd the guy that was shooting him and said that we're friendly doing spy shit, and he left us alone. So basically we played them saying that we're spies, which is funny.
Anyone noticed already something about this skill mill? Hint, look in the corporate hangar. No, it was not the blue kill. It was during Brave was very much red at that time. So if you notice something in the kill mill, you see there are a big amount of more shuttles in there. And I have an idea why there are so many more shuttles in there. What that could be, for what kind of reason that could be done.
Index.
Yes, correct. So when Brave decided to drop that Satio there during the war, one thing we did as Insurgent Squad as part of the Black Hand is put a shitload of shuttles in build. And what that does is that raises the indexing system, with that also the cost of building stuff. So we made it more expensive for our enemies to build stuff when they dropped that Keepstar. And then we forgot about it because we did it a year before or something like that after we killed it. And then we killed it, and then John got a bit upset because he did it with like a fleet. Because yes, 47k shuttles. Yes, that's that were like I think 6 or 8 jobs maxed out or something like that. I don't exactly know but there were a shitload of those drops maxed out to raise the index a few percent or a few tenths of percent just to make it painful for them from the start. But yeah, and then when we killed it. Of course, they wanted to salvage it. And one thing that you need to be able to salvage a structure is that there needs to be room in the can to put the salvage in there. And this can was more than 26,500 out of my head is what can be in can, something like that. Because all the shuttles were in there. So they spent over an hour, if not longer, to drop all the shuttles out of the hangar can from the Keepstar, or from the Satio, to kill them, and then to finally be below the number so they could salvage it. So yeah, that was the like, oh yeah, now I remember what's the reason for that. So that's like things we do with Black Hand, Insurgent Squad, etc. That's something we talked about a bit before, and I'm still not sorry that we did it, but it was just funny to see afterwards. So yeah, that's a bit of a TLDR. Any other questions? If they ask them if fleet, somebody needs to relay them. I only look in Elysium.
It's fine. I'm looking at it. There's nothing in there.
No questions? Oh, that's fine.
You've actually been answering them like when talking with other things. So yep, it's all good.
Oh, why the Black Hand name? I don't know. It was first Goon GIA, Intelligence Agency or something like that, and then at one point they made I think that, and this way before my time. I think it's even before when I was in the Alliance, but not 100% sure. With Imperium, they combined all the intelligence organizations of the whole Imperium to one. So not every org had their own, pretty much, or at least was linked to this one. And that's when somebody made that name, and I think it was Elder Scroll meme. I think it was the Black Hand, also not a group in Serbia or something like that. I don't know exactly. I think it was more with that than it was with the other things. Yeah.
Yes, Black Hand's a Serbian intelligence agency.
So Black Hand only gets spies in the Hullsuck or even in wormholes and low sex. Black Hand spies. Where we spy is a state secret. Just join the Black Hand if you want to know.
Just know that we have eyes and ears everywhere.
Beyond spying and Gina, yeah.
That's true.
That tracks.
Okay, cool. No, somebody posted a whole description about the Black Hand, so that's cool. Any more questions about? Just ask questions, and if I cannot answer them, I will just not answer them. So just feel free to ask any questions. What group, region, Reds? Like any group, region, or Reds have that. you love to get the drama in other groups, etc., to see that, and you just see a lot and read a lot and get a lot of information. To make it just apply, and then they will add you to as a friend, and just decide when you accept a friend request. Do you have to be good in accents? So I think that's not. Do you notice something when somebody buys a new headset that they sound different? Unless you're like a person like Altari or me, that is a very known face. Buying a new headset works very well with those kind of things.
Go to Walmart and get the cheapest, shittiest headset you can find.
I love multilingual agents. So the more multilingual agents I have, the happier I am. We never have enough agents.
All right, guys, we got about 5 more minutes, and then we'll switch over to some finance stuff. But any other questions for Apple or anything like that? He's happy to answer what he can, of course.
Yeah, just ask questions. When I'm going to make a good post, never.
I'll say he will after you do.
That's why I let other people read my write my posts before I post them, and even then they're bad. What happened to Havish? Real life happened to Havish.
He kissed a girl.
Touched grass.
I've also been kissing girls. 1 out of 10 would not recommend.
Oh, see, I enjoy kissing girls, but my girl also plays Eve, so.
Hey, Aoife. I don't even know how to say it. Aoife?
Arcadius went out when PI died. Arcadius went out when PI died. What happened? Now, Arcadius loves to do a certain type of FCing, and he went ham for a long time doing those kind of FCing. And he's one of the reasons PA died, because he was invading them and doing real war things together with Sangan. So after that, he deserves to rest and recuperate for a while. When we have things he likes to do, he will show up again. Those are things that are happening. So that's just, we have certain FCs who like certain things, and they show up when those certain things are available for them to do. So don't worry, he needs also some time to rest, so we can put him to work when we're ready for him to be put to work again. You have 2 more minutes for questions. So any other questions? Am I a spy? Yes, of course I'm a spy.
Wait, you're a spy? Fuck.
Did I get a good gift for Secret Santa? I get many ice mining destroyers, and that made me very happy. And also my Santa person made a nice skin for my wyverns that I can apply. So for the next time I'm actually in a super fleet. So yes, I'm very happy with my Secret Santa gifts.
Eva, I think the best answer to that one for the Black Hand is no, it's more like blackjack and hookers.
But yeah, just if you want to know more, just apply. And as I said, if you like on the Mensa, should I do it? Should I not do it? Is this something for me? Just fill in the form. We will talk with you. You can just ask your questions, and based on that, you can decide if you will give it a go or not. And as I said, we take 1 day newbies, so like it's not like a lot of other SIGs, etc. that you need to be like for 6 months in goons, like that wordless Altari SIG, or other SIGs, etc. that have those kinds of requirements. You can just, if you want to be useful for the Alliance, just apply, and we 90% chance, 95% chance we will accept you and have fun. And with that message, I will relink our forum topic once more, and then Beyond can start talking. And I didn't spoil your thing, Beyond.
Nice.
So Apple's going to do that. So Beyond's going to talk to us about finance and how the Alliance makes money and what it spends money on, all that kind of fun stuff. So we'll let Beyond take it away there with finance things.
Right. Hello, everyone. I'm just making sure questions is Elysium and the fleet, right? Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Hello. I've been a finance director for some years now. What I do is mostly just the main market trading for the entire directorate of the Alliance. I handle our lending bee, our loans. I take care of our local store and sell it. I manage the Super Smart, and in general just try to make the life of Cassini and Ranger a little bit easier. There's a lot of things going into that, and there's naturally some things I can't talk about. It is not as locked down as Black Hand, but there will be things I can't talk about. It will be mostly questions and then stories. I have begged Ranger to be allowed to declassify things for you guys, because finance is also financial PvP in Jita and everywhere else. And it is one of the things I do a lot of. For instance, when we had was it KI we fought over Keepstar with Horde? I think so, KI or something like that. I, together with some other people, were sitting in Horde space with our Horde and buying up their ships, making it harder for them to come back into the fight. And it was very convenient. Horde decided to disband so I could get everything out. Selling shit on the Horde market was generally very hard. But yeah, I rescued like 1,200 bombers, 600 maulers, like 1,200 retribution and harpies. Which is now being sold for like below normal price in CTAC J. Thank you, Horde. I also I tend to give people that needed shit. So there's a certain SIG led by a certain Black Hand person that was just handed 350 retributions for free, just so they can go have fun. The other thing that is worth talking about when it comes to like leaking things or declassifying, it's not leaking because I've been allowed, is the fact that when we had the Great Migration and when we were leaving Delve the first time, not when we helped Brave, but like when we were leaving, there were people looking at the market being like, oh, prices rose in Jita like 14 days before you started buying goo there. It was very much like you didn't prep, and it annoyed me a lot because that is one of my jobs. It is prepping so people don't notice. Whenever Ilum starts talking about we might need to do this or we might need to do that, I will start prepping, and that is a lot of market buying. It is very easy for anyone to go to Jita and just click buy all and take everything and have all the things you need. But being able to buy shit and like keep the market afloat but still stockpiling without people knowing and without people noticing, that is a more useful skill to have. So for instance, we announced the move in November, October. When did we move?
From 1DQ?
Yeah. September. Okay.
Well, so we announced it like kind of late September, but we did the actual move in October, but we gave the guys a couple of weeks, so it was September-ish.
Yeah. we started talking about it a lot before, funnily enough, because prepping, moving the entire Imperium takes a little bit more than 14 days. And I started buying fuel back then. So while people thought we were only buying from like the 14 days before, I looked it up just to be sure. I have fuel buy orders up and filled from the beginning of March, where I was buying fuel, so we had it, so to make sure that no one knew that like 400 million of each isotope disappeared from the market. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go to questions now. That was a little bit of a quick speech. I'm not used to doing this, so let's see what happens. If we got destroyed under 2 weeks, will our payout be more than 500 million? I'm not sure what you mean, Ryzen. I'm sorry.
So he's talking about how Horde liquidated their ISK to pay like registered accounts 500 million on it.
If we got destroyed in under 2 weeks, I would be severely surprised, and I don't see a world where our SRP fund will run out at that. Because if we get destroyed in under 2 weeks, we wouldn't have run through all our Titans.
The question above it is like a rough estimate on how much of your own dank ISKI, or well, how much dank ISKIs do you have tied up in those stocks?
Do you mean the war bonds? I am fairly low on war bonds right now with what I own because I have sold to people that wanted them. So I think I'm down to like 250 billion tied up in war bonds. If we are talking about like ISK invested from my own pocket to like make sure that Horde fell and we can supply everything, I have a little bit over $1 trillion invested right now. Oh, 2 seconds, guys.
Remy, let me ask you for a clarification. You said, did finance lead the SRP thing or no? Like, what SRP thing are you talking about there, man? Can you expand that a little bit? So like for the payouts on it, Atrum is head of the SRP team. He does evaluations on them based on the insurance, like platinum insurance payout versus market prices. And that's where he determines the value for the SRP app. For the most part, like Kaz and I don't fuck with Atrum when he does that because we'll be honest, we don't want to deal with it, and he's really good at it. So he puts the numbers in there, and then usually myself or Kaz will put the money into their special slush fund that they use to pay for that.
Dictator Imperator asked, I heard Ash said that after the Mittens era we were near bankrupt. Is that true? Absolutely. I became a director shortly after, and one of my first jobs was coming to terms with how much ISK we needed to generate in a very short period of time. I am known in the finance directorate and by the directors to be the one that will hold back the most, because I want us to be financially ready for anything. For instance, when Asher said that he had directors saying that we were not ready, we should wait a year before we did the invasion to take Innsmother, I was one of those directors. I was very much like, we can go into this fight, but if we get ruffle stomped, we will have severely economical problems. Like, not talking about like losing subcaps, but like if we lost our Titan fleet. But we didn't, because Horde decided to fuck off, so it made it very easily. And a fun fact is, the invasion of Tenerife and the invasion of Innsmother, both of those monthly invasions, and the crush of Horde, cost us less SRP money than a general month if Llama and Altrari and Ark is running rampant. Like, the destruction of Horde over those 3 months was less than a normal month of those 3 guys running.
It was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
I did the numbers and presented them, and people were like, "That can't be right." Went over everything
Yeah,
again.
we didn't believe him. He presented it to Ilham. We didn't believe him. But it's true. We looked at it. It was crazy. Dave, I'll look at the next one there. So the finance different from procurement in terms of rules. So they are different. So finance does the ISK generation from the alliance taxes and all those kind of pieces. Procurement provides the hulls or like completed contracts, set up ships for new doctrines and things like that. So there is overlap between the members of procurement and finance. A couple of the finance people are procurement people, or vice versa, however you want to call it.
Me.
I'll say Beyond is one of those. So there is overlap between them. They both do supply the alliance. They supply different aspects. Like procurement doesn't deal with moon goo. That's a finance thing. But procurement uses the moon goo that the finance team has from Locust to make stuff. So there is overlap between them.
Yeah, it is one of my jobs. Whenever you guys do Locust, I'll be the one sitting, clicking and accepting 1,400 contracts. So thank you. I'll then move all the goo, have someone with a perfect refining character refine it. I'll stable it all together, take a little bit off, and be like, hey, this is what procurement normally needs, and I'll sell it to procurement first, and then I'll go to the goon market, and I do this like. I very much believe that we should, inside our alliance and our organization, be able to provide the best prices. So I always sell the Locust ore back to our members at GWI. Like, I'll never charge anything higher. It is sufficient. I normally link it in GSISK or ISK Imperium. There's some Discord servers where I know I have a lot of buyers where I will also link it. Some corps have shown to buy a couple of hundred of billions every time I link it. But in general, like, if I realize you are a person I'm interacting with a lot because you're buying shit or you're asking the right questions in GSISK, I will link it there as well. So being in GSISK in general is a good thing.
Tango, that's an interesting one you had there for sort of SRP. We hemorrhage funds and new structures. Actually, during the invasion, we really didn't. We only put down a handful of structures because, again, they collapsed so quickly. I mean, the entire structure investment from us was a couple of keep stars and some miscellaneous little things. It was almost nothing.
True. And also we didn't hemorrhage as much as we could have. Some of the, for instance, as you know, in CTAC, we put down like the Sotios with the Tech 2 rigs in them. That was pulled out of 1DQ Sotios when CCP allowed us to do that. And we saved them to put in there. So yes, we have spent a lot of money building up Insmother and so on, because it is our space we're gonna live in for until someone decides to kick us out, or they can try. Meaning we are investing a lot of money in GECs and so on to make it as best as possible for everyone in the Imperium to be producing.
And there's a good one there for you, Beyond. Do you do you have goon care for your carpal tunnel from doing all of your Locust contracts?
Well, the wonderful thing about it is I don't have to do all of them in one go. I don't have to sit down and be 1,400 contracts. So I'll wake up the day on Locust, and the first hour there will be people that just mining a little bit and leaving. I'll accept those, and then in the morning I'll take some more. In the evening I'll take some more. So I don't have to do everything at once. But I'll do it. And then moving it is, I am a filthy Euro. It is true. So yeah, I am Euro. I don't live in the US, and I am, not to get political, fairly happy about it, but I have always been fairly happy about not living in the United States. It's too big. What else? I run Lending Bee. Lending Bee was one of the first projects that got started when I became a director, and something I very much believe in. I believe that loans should very much be a thing, and I think the fact that we can use loans to help people skip steps in the natural progression of how you make your money. I am one of the few people that didn't have a natural progression or the normal progression in Eve, because I started playing Eve to see what it was, and very quickly got dragged in by the stories and was listening to the meta show before I left high sec. And at some point there was a meta show where Mittens and I think it was Aerith were talking about how they manipulated the Jita market. It's like, oh, you're allowed to do that? Hell yeah. As a person who have been more than once banned from games like WoW for manipulating the auction house, I was like, hell yeah, I'm allowed to do it here. I went to Jita with 28 million ISK in my wallet, and I don't think I undocked for 8 months, and I had like 900 billion after that. And then I started running with Bomber Spar, started dropping on people in Bombers, and started hunting Dawn a lot because that was fun. And for some strange reason, quote unquote, Bomber Spar tended to roll into Goon Space a lot more than anywhere else. It was very strange. And then, I don't know, Lorne got a little bit tired of me dropping, so they recruited me, and I came to Null having no idea what the fuck this meant, except I knew how it was on the other side, and decided to buy like a Titan and a Super the first day, and got very nicely told by the super smart team that that wasn't allowed. I had to wait. But yeah, most of my personal ISK making is done from, now it's market trading. Before it was market trading and scamming. I realized that doing scamming as an alliance director is maybe not the greatest move. But yeah, as someone said in Fleet, Jita Market PvP is the best way to make ISK ban on. It is if you're running a small amount of accounts. You can get started as an alpha character, and I did it as a challenge. Like, I got very tired of people saying you cannot make money in this game unless you have been here for a long time. It is not true. It is a lot easier with more accounts. I'm not saying that isn't true. But I did a weekend challenge once where I took an alpha character with no training, gave it 5 million ISK. I didn't train a single skill. I didn't do anything than like run to Jita and buy shit. And when the weekend ended, I had 8 billion. So you can definitely 100% make money in this game with one account. It is not that hard. It is just easier with more. Is there any other questions?
So it's not really a question, but it's kind of like a statement thing that's come up that I wanted to get your thoughts on. The difference between, just doing the right-click buy all on something and an individual component. So before Beyond answers that, you may have noticed from the tone of his response that I'm enjoying needling Beyond with this question. And what you got?
I think that if you are at a position where you don't have to look at how you buy your shit, you have enough money to fuck up that grade.
All right, that's fair enough.
That's the most nice way I can say it. I have been told the insult I tend to use on people is I bet you sell your Plex to buy orders.
Dude,
I do.
That is harsh. I haven't heard anybody say that to you, or you say that. That's a good one. There's another one in Elysium that's good.
Someone asked earlier, and I just saw it by scrolling up. Does finance recruit? How do you recruit? In theory, we do, yes. And the best way to be recruited, I guess, is to make the same mistake that I did. I am very much a person who got recruited by Reindeer because I fucked up. It is a lot about being in TS ISK and asking the right question and having the good conversations, but also if you see a problem that have a fix, do not just complain about it, actively fix it yourself. I did that. I imported a shit ton of things in Jita, or from Jita to our space to like keep refilling. And one evening on a fleet, I ended up with like Ranger and back then Rat Knight and Senpai, I think. And we were talking about something that wasn't working. And I was very passionate about it. And instead of just complaining, I was like, this is how you fix it. It is not that hard. We just need to do this, this, and this, and we can fix this problem. And like I think 14 days later, they were like, yeah, okay, go do that. Here you go. I was fuck.
It probably was the three of us back at that point. Yeah, I think so. Because it would have been 21, I think, something like that.
Yeah, late 21, early 2022. It was right after Azure took over, so 2022 it has to be.
Yeah, it would have been 22. Yeah.
But yeah, I had a fairly quick like route into things because I joined Goons in 2020. I started talking with people and helping out in 2021 due to the war. And then 2022, after the war, I became a director. And I have spent more time now being a director for Goonswarm than I have been a line member. And that's weird to say after 5 years in this organization. I still feel very young in this organization often. There will be things in Ilum when we are talking, and people will be like, oh, that's just like how it was in 2018. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, explain it to me. I'm nothing.
Question for you in Elysium there. So there's an option to receive some kind of market operations mentorship from someone in finance. Basically what you're just describing there.
In theory, yes, but it is like I've had people that wanted to like learn, and I don't do mentorships that way. I'll ask you questions and give you a theoretical situation and ask you how you would handle them. And you'll write and tell me, or we will talk and you'll explain to me what you would do. And often it's like sometimes in finance there's not a right answer, but there's a lot of wrong answers. Also, if you have spare ISK and having it lying around, I sometimes gather people if I see it in GSISK to like help do specific things. Like for instance, market PvP against Horde. The second they announced they were leaving, I was at work, and the amount of PMs I got mid-meeting meant I thought someone died. Like I had to leave the meeting at work, check my phone, realizing what the fuck Horde was doing, log in on my laptop, transfers 300 billion to a person I trust, so he could buy out basically everything Horde could ever need in Jita to leave.
Really good one, kind of follow up on that. Are you more of a station trading guy or regional trading?
Well,
to me, I'd say you do both, but wow, that's a hard one to say.
I started station trading, definitely, and my love for trading comes from station trading, 100%. But I am also at a point now where I have 4 fully trained characters, so I have over 1,200 training slots, and I am often using all of them. I am training a 5th now, because I need more slots. So yeah, CCP, if you are listening, give us an advanced tycoon so I can get more than 300 trading slots on a character. And change contracts, so 500 contracts is not corporation but alliance-wide. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I hear that. That's the pie in the sky wishful thinking from a couple of contract supplying people that you heard Beyond and I crying about.
Yeah. But yeah, the general thing is, like, I, together with the other finance directors, try to take all the money we get from taxes and try to at least double it so we can, first of all, pay for all the bills, pay for the SRP bill, and then extend whatever holdings we have so when the inevitable war comes, we are more than ready. I am very much doubling ISK. If I only double, it's been a bad month. I try to triple.
And the best part, guys, he does it in Jita local. I'd say
It's not a lie.
I think you'll get a kick out of this. I was in Jita one day years ago. I happened to have local open, which I usually don't there, but I did. And somebody actually put into it, like, send me ISK. I'm not going to double it. I'm just lazy. I was like, I respect the honesty there. I think I sent him like 5 million ISK because it entertained me.
Yeah. By the way, I have something. I'm gonna link it in Elysium, and I'm gonna link it in the fleet. Whenever you are like sitting in local in Jita and you don't want to see all the bullshit, if you click the 3 dots, there's something called configure hidden messages. And if you add the following, I'm gonna drop, you don't see all the fucking scam things. You don't see all the links for Hypernet and everything. You only see the direct chat, meaning you can actually find people that's actually trying to trade in there and trade with people. So if you add that, and also LinkedIn Fleet, it'll remove Hypernet, contracts, recruitment ads, ship skins, listening, and join channels. So you'll only see people actually talking. That helps a lot on traders. It also, on traders, it will slow down the local spam. And when G or CTP drop a patch note, sometimes like the prices in Jita will change within like 6 minutes. And the tick lag you remove by not seeing local chat actually makes a difference. No, Tango, I don't block people in Jita because you never know when you need to talk to someone even though they're not your favorite person. I block people on contracts, and I have a list I share with all my trading characters where I have a little bit over 200 people blocked with scam contracts.
And for the people who are listening to this recording, my little puppy dog just walked in, so that's who I was talking to just a second ago. I forgot to mute my microphone, so.
I would say we didn't even hear it. Baby!
No, I didn't have that keyed up, but on the recording, it runs on a different system.
Lucid, when you, like if you have your local open, there's the 3 dots for more, and then there's the triangle saying configure hidden messages, and you put it in there. Then you put it into a channel category list local. And that clears out everything. But yeah, as I said, one of my main jobs is to make sure that when we, as an alliance, are considering things, I am prep buying stuff months in advance, and sometimes it will be a situation where we decide, hey, we're not going to do this anyway. And then I'm sitting on like 250 to 750 billion worth of stuff. And some stuff, because Eve is a flat circle, you can just place down and save for another rainy day. And sometimes you have to liquidate it again. My greatest job is to make sure that people don't see what we are buying. So I'm on purpose using neutral characters to buy shit. I have when Horde was there, I had a trader in Horde, so making it look like Horde was actually buying this shit and not us. Yeah. I have a couple of minutes left if anyone has a small question.
There's one in fleet there from Jeremy. How do you find good items to trade?
Oh, it's the age-old question, man. Truth be told, and it annoys the living hell out of a lot of people, you will meet people that will be like, I have spreadsheets for this, I have spreadsheets for that, my spreadsheet will tell me anything you need to do. And when I got invited in to be a finance director, one of the first things, because finance directors are nerds, was like, show your spreadsheets. I don't use spreadsheets. I don't use any third-party tools. I don't have JV assets. I don't do anything. I just kind of vibe it. So yeah, I have vibed my way to trillions, and it's a great feeling. But it's a lot of like learning by doing. If you want to learn to trade, one of the best things you can do is don't like put 100 billion on a character and try to learn that way. Like take a character, move it to Jita, give it like 15, 20 million ISK, and like see what you can hit. One of the good markets to look at is meta modules. It is forever changing. It's a lot about like riding waves of trading, and you learn a shit ton on it. The difference is if you fuck up, you have lost 8 million ISK. You haven't lost 80 billion ISK. It is the same lessons you learn there as you do in any kind of other trading. The meta market is one of the greatest places to learn how to trade. It is always what I like recommend to anyone.
It's funny you say that, Beyond. One of the first things I started doing market trading with was Sisters, Core, and Expanded Probe Launchers.
Yep. For some fucked up reason, salvage your drones and salvage your ones have a tendency to be good. And it's just in general. Also, if people have 6 or groups or whatever and they want like a how to market trade talk, I do that if you can convince me. It's not about payment, it's just about wanting to do it. I've done it for Asshole Squad, I've done it for WOF, I've done it for a lot of people by now, where I just sit down and like do a show and tell with a stream up on Discord, where I show how I like find markets and what I do, show you my quote unquote trading rules, and then answer questions. But I don't do it for like 1 or 2 people. You need to gather enough to it being worth it. And also when it comes to trading, I can talk about it forever. So like it's not a 30-minute talk. It is
Like Gooniversity class.
It's a 3-hour talk. if
it
not
is
more.
yeah, it is very much let's say I'll say it takes 45 minutes, but like 4 hours later.
Sounds good. Well, guys, we're gonna say goodbye to Beyond. We're gonna switch over to Quinnan, who's gonna talk about CD. Give me just a second for that, Quinnan. I'm gonna turn off the recording so I don't have to try and upload a 7-hour video. So I'm gonna reset it. So we'll reping the fleet. We'll do all that kind of stuff. If you guys want to take like a minute or two bio break while I push all the buttons on my side, and then we'll jump right back in.